Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I'm back from Tokyo. We were in Tokyo for like 3 nights. It was kind of a like short but kind of long trip, and we are finally back. And bam, in your face, Miss Takaichi is gonna be our next prime minister. She was just She got elected as the LDP party leader. So now there's a picture. Yay! My reaction video was posted. Oh, I posted that on my Japanese channel. So you might not have an NX, so you probably saw that. But yeah, I was like, I was so happy. I actually, like, of course, I wanted her to become our next prime minister, or the party leader of LDP. But because she lost for the past 2 times, right? And the last time when she lost against Ishiba, I was like so shocked because I thought at the time that she was gonna win, but then like it's power struggle all along. So, and she lost, and so that's why I didn't have like hopes and expectations too high, so I was not expecting much. And then I knew like how many votes that she has to take to win, and when I heard the number, I'm like, wait, what? So that was amazing. Such a wonderful time. Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. Congratulations, Yoko. I'm so very happy Sanae Takaichi won. I hear she will meet Trump in late October. Yes, congrats again. Thank you so much. Yes, so true. She's gonna win. Oh yeah, here they put together the election first round, and then the second time, the votes and so on. They have that as information, and over here they have the schedule starting very soon, right? It starts with October 6th, so it's with a question mark, by the way, because it's uncertain. Yes, super chat, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Let me talk about that. Trump is October 27th. So Sanae Takaichi will meet Trump October 27th, but Japan time, so it's probably a day later in America, I suppose. Yeah, so 27th, Trump comes here. He visits Japan. On the following day, 28th, they are having the first Japan-US summit meeting. I'm like excited and a little worried at the same time. I hope that they get along, Like, I mean, they both love Shinzo Abe, and they both, want to fight China economically. So probably a good combination. And also security clearance and so on, like what Takaichi wants to do probably fits the, what Trump wants to do against China. So that should be the glue of the bond, in my opinion. Yeah. By the way, let me show you some pictures. Firstly, I should show you the picture of. Wait, where did I just sent it to my husband, I guess. Wait for me a little bit. I'm gonna get this. Oh, that'll work. Yay! With us. You can't see well because it's we are wearing masks. But yeah. Yes, she's on our side. So this is kind of, like an old photo, but so we just got back from Tokyo, right? And there we did a lot of things, but one of the things is to have a full, it's just like an event to celebrate the 100 year anniversary of the Mongolian party, and that's what I'm gonna do. She wants to say. そうそれを言おうと思って説明してるんです。あなたのツイートを見せてあげようと。My husband is we we received the message. Okay, anyway. See, this is with the former president of Mongolia, Elbegdolj, and yeah, you can read that. I just hit the translation. Reunion with the former Mongolian president Elbegdolj after May at the 100th anniversary international conference of the it's not inner, Southern Mongolian, wait, Mongolian People's Party. インナーなのこれ。Okay, so their official name is Inner Mongolian, I guess. Like because like every time we talk about Southern Mongolia, we say Southern Mongolia, not Inner Mongolia, because that's CCP term. But anyway, so we had this is like basically, pro Southern Mongolians or Mongolians. We stand with Mongolians who are, oppressed by the Chinese Communist Party. And this was held at the National Diet building, like a parliament building. We have buildings, full of parliament members, like their offices and so on, and they have the event rooms and so on. So we held that there in Tokyo, and we had this basically anti-CCP event. And Takaichi, Miss Takaichi, gave us like a congratulatory message for the event. So really good. She's also the head of the parliamentary group, like a parliamentary support group for Southern Mongolia as well, which you know as Inner Mongolia. Yes! So it's really good. But now that she's going to be the prime minister, I don't know what's going to happen to the parliamentary group. But anyway, thank you. Oh, thank you for a super chat, Patrick. So what changes do you expect from this change in the Japanese government? The big thing will be like a revision of constitution. 何が変わると思いますか? I'm gonna ask my husband because he's more accurate. The mood, our feelings are gonna be different. That is so true though. That's a good point. And that's very important though, like how the public feel about the government. That's important because we really disliked Ishiba. He did one last good thing though. He's gonna do something bad soon probably, but like because in the meantime she's gonna become our prime minister probably on October 15th or so. So until then still Ishiba is gonna be our prime minister, but anyway, so when Takaichi won the election, she made a victory speech, right? And when she was talking about her vision and also how hard she's going to work, she's like, I discarded work-life balance, she said. And that I expect you all, meaning LDP parliament members, to work hard, so hard, and she was emphasizing how hard she works and that she doesn't really care about her private life and so on, that's how much LDP has to work to regain the trust from the people, and that how many problems that the Japanese society is encountering and so on or facing. So that's what she wanted to say, but how people in Japan sometimes work to death, right? Work hard. We work too hard, and some people die out of it. So because of that sort of aspect, some people are, of course, they want to complain about everything. So they're like, she said that, blah, 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 right? Some people are reacting, but at least Ishiba, who made the speech as a current leader, he was a leader of LDP. So he made a speech after Takaichi's victory speech, and then he kind of, like a cover it in a good supportive way. Like, oh, she was saying like, oh, like life work balance, you know, how she got rid of it from her life. But he's like, oh, I'm a little concerned for her or something like that, and that people were laughing, so that created a good mood. So that was good. But anyway, yes. Okay. Donkey Kong. Yeah. What? Oh, she wants to become like the politician that she respects is Margaret Thatcher. And in Japanese though, like Thatcher and Sanae Takaichi, Sachan, kind of sounds similar. Sanae, so we could call her Sachan, Thatcher, Sachan. There was somebody just randomly talking about it on X. I saw that. Are you happy with the results, Yoko? Yes, I'm excited because she's on our side. When you look into Sanae Takaichi's team, you know, that's like all our people on her team. So yeah. By the way, when there's a scene like that, is it the day before or something? Like, you know, in Japanese political culture, when we have some kind of event to, what's that? Like, you know, before like election day and so on, we have an event to, you know, like show our energy and that we like determination to win, you know, like, yeah, we are gonna win, right? And so we do so-called gambaro call. Gambaro is like break a leg, you know, like let's crush it kind of thing. You know, in Japanese we say gambaro, gambaro, gambaru or gambaro, right? So in politics we have this gambaro call. So like let's break a leg kind of call. And then next to her there was Kimi Onoda. She's actually, her parent is American, right? Man, it smells like egg. 卵の匂いがめっちゃするんですが。Ah, at first I thought that it was some gas coming from him for some reason. Sorry, gross, sorry. He's eating boiled egg. So, anyway. It smells bad. Anyway, she was like, Gambaro, Gambaro, and she was so good at it, and I was fascinated. Yes, she's popular too among. She was born in Illinois, Chicago. She's from Chicago. What's her background? Like, I don't even recognize that she is mixed, right? Yeah, her father is American and her mother is Japanese. And from 1 year old, she's been in Japan, in Okinawa. I mean, Okayama. Such a cool lady. So beautiful, by the way. Just so you know, like, she's popular among the Japanese. What's interesting is that she's very popular among the conservative circle. And there's like a Uyghur politician and she's not as popular. Anyway, okay, let's look at your comments. If you give me super chat, I will prioritize that. When does she officially assume the position? Surely there's a transition period. Yeah, 15日ぐらいよね。Yeah, so it says there's a question because it's uncertain, but 15th, you see the 15th in, I know it's mirrored, but it says like they're gonna be the national diet, like the parliament meeting is gonna happen, and then they will have the election to, like, you know, like when you hear like parliament, you picture the actual national diet building, the parliament building, like a hall, right? That's where they're gonna hold the election. So all parties will vote. So that probably is gonna be like around the 15th. Yes. After that, on the 26th, there will be ASEAN meetings, summit meetings until 28th. In Malaysia, it seems. Yep, yep, yep. And then meet Trump, and then APEC is happening. Yep. And it's in South Korea. Yes, 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 yes. And I didn't know the Mongolians are oppressed by China. Oh, please learn about that. Yes, they are. Just like Tibetans, Uyghurs, like East Turkestan people, and then Mongolians, Southern Mongolians. Mongolia, as the independent nation, used to be a satellite country of Soviet Union, and then they got independent, right? But the southern part of the Mongolian people, that's more population, by the way. And they got, because if you picture the world map, the north part is Mongolia, but there's southern Mongolia, and they are part of China now, colonized by China. So, and they were the first to be slaughtered and so on, and that's why you don't hear about it, because back then we didn't have technology. So yeah, it's terrible. And Tibetans also. And today, though, you probably saw Hong Kongers, but just like that. So in Japan, we work with all those oppressed people because some of them are living here, and we work together, even teaming up with our national diet members, parliament members, to have events, and also we work together when they want to pass a resolution and so on. So yes, that's why we are not even nationalist. I was surprised to see like New York Post even called Takaichi a nationalist. I'm like, what? Because in Japan, our perception is that conservatives are conservatives, and we don't regard ourselves as nationalists. Some people, like extreme right-wing people who are very much influenced by Western right-wings, they might consider themselves as nationalists. Or some older kind of right-wings like Makoto Sakurai, kind of like Japan First, original Japan First people, who were fighting against Koreans, South Koreans, or even North Koreans in general living in Japan. They were, bringing up the issues with Koreans, and they were very nationalistic. But other than that, just conservatives in Japan are just conservatives and not nationalistic. But if you say nationalistic or nationalist, then I guess that Western people get a better picture to get like which side she's on and so on. And yeah, so I guess that it helps. But like me looking at that from Japan makes me feel like, what? Yay, Super Chat, thank you so much. Hello, it's been a while since I last saw you guys. Oh, thank you so much for coming back to my stream. Yes, I do recognize your name. Thank you, thank you. Ian. Oh, Super Chat from Brad, thank you so much. Some Korean accounts feel Abe was not good for the Korean-Japan relationship. I know. Yeah. Has Takaichi said much about Korea? Would it help if Sony did a sequel movie to K-pop Demon Hunters? Oh, interesting. Takaichi, we haven't really talked about Korea specifically, but we have talked about, by we, I mean during the LDP election, the topic about Yasukuni Shrine would occur here and there, and Takaichi had to answer that many times. But Yasukuni Shrine is just like in America, you guys have Arlington Cemetery, those who devoted their lives are there, and you go and pray for their oh, I don't know the word, like you go there, right? Just like that, like Japanese, like our that's a cemetery over here. It's a shrine, so it's more about the spirits. But those who have dedicated their lives go to Yasukuni Shrine in our Shinto beliefs. So Yasukuni Shrine is really such a sacred place that we go to thank our people before us to for protecting and also trying to develop our country and so on. So we go there, right? And then so yeah. But China, CCP, China, and also like Koreans in general, their education is, of course, like their history has to show that Japan was the bad guy so that they can explain about how their country was formed and how their, like a, like I can't really explain it, like, like shaping everything, like, yeah, the storyline, the narrative is that Japan has to be the bad guy, right? So that's what they believe. And then Japan, Yasukuni Shrine is there, and whenever our politicians visit to show the gratitude for our own people, own heroes, they complain because they believe that we are the, like a, what's the word? Senpan, war criminals. That's what they say, right? And it's ridiculous because each country has their own historical views, and each has their own stories, and we want to be thankful for our people, and they're like, "Hey, you're a war criminal." So then, often the media ask questions about Takaichi, like, "Are you gonna visit Yasukuni Shrine?" She wants to, but now that she's gonna be the prime minister, I don't know if she's gonna go. Shinzo Abe only went once as the prime minister, but rather I think that in that case, I don't think, like, they sometimes changes the title, like, "Oh, I went there personally," like privately, not as a prime minister, and things like that. Some weird tactics that they use sometimes, so it's confusing. But yeah, but Takaichi said that she wants to commemorate. Is the word commemorate? Like, she wants to pay gratitude for our people, and that should be like each country should do that. So she has that sort of way of thinking, and that's how I feel too. And that's probably common sense. Like, yeah, like, wouldn't it weird, like, if we were complaining about other countries, visiting their cemetery and so on. Yeah. But yeah, I think that it's not on our side, actually. The Japanese side is that we are willing to work with Korea, but I think that South Koreans are just too bound by the past. Like, it's so, like, it's not like Japan is not sorry about, how, what a difficult time that we all had. And I'm not saying that, I'm not disrespecting the past, but they just dragging, drag. Look at Japan. We were bombed like on a daily basis, like we were like those civilians, not even like soldiers, ordinary people were bombed. We got nuclear attacks twice, and then we are friends now. We are close with the US, and we are moving forward, and South Korea has this sentiment still. and when is gonna be the last, and as long as they drag it down, in the meantime, China and Russia can, or even North Korea can take advantage of the situation, because Japan and South Korea being in this bad relationship would, it just benefits them. So yeah. Yes. Oh, and Korean annexation too. By the way, like when Japan did that, the world knew. Like we were like, we didn't really want to do, but like they assassinated our our people. I mean, the was it the prime minister at the time? Like, yeah, the guy that was against it. Anyway, I must see Yoko. Dying to see Yoko. Oh, now you see me. Yeah. I think it's good that she won. I just think she should accept immigration from Brazilians of Japanese descent. Oh, I see. Interesting. Greetings. I'm from a broad association that deals with Japanese matters. Many members of the right groups are uncertain about this election. The left, yes, or left. What could I tell them? What do you mean? Dropped it. Sorry, it's dry. Love your videos. You're fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so glad they voted your prime minister. Yes. Before the pandemic, there were anti-Japanese protests happening because of a trade spat boycotting against Japan. That happens every once in a while, by the way. They often do that. It's so sad because Korea has a lot of things to offer to the world. And that boycotting and that sort of things kind of degrades them. So, but just so you know, that like on a cultural level, Japanese people and Korean people, especially young people, are in like they love each other. So like for example, when I watch some Japanese YouTuber videos from the younger generation, they often travel to South Korea and they enjoy the makeup and also fashion of Korea and so on. And even my friend, recently she went to South Korea and she did go to the makeup place, and she was saying like, oh, they have the technology to try on, virtually and so on. And it was interesting, that like, yeah, on a cultural level, we are doing really great, but once that there is some historical viewpoint or territorial viewpoint, we are like, I really want that to end. But I hope that at least, though, I think that we are learning to put it aside and work together. I must go, Yoko. No! Congrats, Japan. Thank you so much. The whole movie was Japanese and American here. It made me think of the movie Battleship, which was set in Pearl Harbor Battleship, Missouri, where Japan surrendered, but the whole movie was the Japanese and American navies working together as a team to bravely fight the aliens. Cool. Yes. Let's see. Any comments? Does Koreans say that Japan are the bad guy? Yes. 7 p.m. in Hawaii. Yay! Any question I missed? Italian Prime Minister Meloni was supposed to be a conservative heroine, but she's been kind of shaky thus far. Really? I hope Takaichi doesn't assume that being a woman is enough. I see. Meloni is so cute, though. Takaichi is not even, but it was interesting that when she won, usually, so first of all, like when she was running for the election, usually when there's a female candidate, of course, feminists will be happy about it and cheer up for her, right? But they didn't. They just ignored Takaichi, and they were rather cautious about her victory because they recognize Takaichi as is it the successor? Like close to Abe, and Abe, they didn't like Abe, so like they have the negative viewpoint about Takaichi, all these feminists. Yeah, but then after she won, actually some of them praised her for the victory, saying that even though we are on the opposite side, like she broke the the glass ceiling, like one of them. There's this famous figure, liberal figure in Japan named Kiyomi Tsujimoto. She's super duper liberal, or rather just a leftist, like extreme leftist, who is even, I think, pro North Korea, like really left. But like she is such an experienced politician, though, so I guess that she's kind of tolerant in some ways, as colleagues in the parliament members, probably. So it was surprising to see her reaction, and I was happy to see that. Let's see if I have any. Did I? Oh, here. Like, see this? This is a liberal woman. I'm gonna hit the translate and read it. Sanae Takaichi has been elected as new president of leader of the Liberal Democratic Party. Sanae and I have been appearing on Asamade Nama TV together since our 20s before becoming members of parliament and have been considered polar opposites. As the first female leader of the LDP, Sanae, you have broken one glass ceiling. Even for me, you're a polar opposite. I extend my congratulations. And even if our opinions and perspectives differ, let us roughly deliberate with the shared goal of working for the happiness of all people. Wow! Nobody expected that to happen because she's so feisty and always, yeah. Yes. And then also another liberal posted, Shiori Yamao. She said, the emergence of a female leader, potentially including a prime minister who is not at all bound by the attribute expectations of how a female position should be. And blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's so interesting. But yeah, Sanae Takaichi, though, like, she doesn't show, like, her female side, like a female, like, she's like me in a way. I'm like her in a way. Like, we both used to do kendo. Also, we like heavy metal. She was a drummer in a metal band. She grew up in a normal family, not a rich family. And then she went through hard times. And also, actually, I want to read the background for you. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. Congrats, Yoko. I hope Ms. Sanae Takaichi becoming the next prime minister will mean Japan can begin to tackle some countries' major issues. Me too. But first of all, though, by the way, people talk about ideology a lot, but the first thing ever is prices, high prices in Japan. The economy measurement, it will be prioritized. So this is the biggest thing in Japan right now. Our economy is bad. Economy as for like ordinary, like daily living, like everything that is high cost, so hard to live right now. All the prices are up and it's in a vicious cycle. So we want to change that. Our newspaper, by the way, showed like there's a picture of her like that too. That's so cool. She likes cars, and that's her as a little girl. 19. She was born in 1961, and yeah. And then that's her when she was younger. And then ran for the election. Yeah. And she likes Hanshin Tigers baseball team. And then you might have come across, but there's a few years ago, I think, she got on TV and sang X Japan. But she did it in such a rock way, like she was so into it. It's so funny. She's amazing. But yeah, Supra, I don't know about cars, but yeah, so there's the backgrounds, like official background listed. By the way, there's Gavin Newsom on the back of that page. Anyway, I should introduce this after this. But somebody from LDP, this is another female. Oh yeah, there are lots of female LDP members who supported Sanae Takaichi this time. It was amazing because usually it doesn't happen like that. Yeah, but Sanae Takaichi is not really like, they didn't pick though, for the most part, even though there are people who pushed her, for victory because she's female, but the 98 time of the time, I think like it's like most of the time she's just recognized as a politician. She happened to be a female. She's so policy focused, and she knows a lot about policies and all the background knowledge, like the background knowledge that she has is amazing. Like even like male politicians cannot keep up with her because she's such a hard work type. Like she's rather like she's so focused on what she studies. She likes to study by herself, and that's her problem. That's amazing. That's what's amazing about her, but that's the weakness for her. And that's why for the past year, after she lost the last time, she's put together like meetings and so on to study together with fellow like-minded politicians inside her party. And she was touring around, and yeah, she worked so hard and it really paid off. So that's good. But I hope that she will be more of a team player. Anyway, let's see. There's this woman, Hiroko Kado from LDP. She wrote something about Takaichi, so I hit that translate button. This is so useful. I'll read it to you. There's been a lot of talk about Sanae Takaichi, the new leader, but as the first female president of LDP, she comes from an ordinary family in a rural area, graduated from public elementary, junior high, and high school. And back in her time, it was only natural, but her parents opposed her going to university. She worked part-time jobs while struggling through her studies to graduate from a national university. Aspiring to enter politics, she joined a political training academy, went to the United States alone, honored her skills through rigorous training, stepped into national politics only to experience defeat in an election. She went through marriage and divorce, struggles with infertility, became the stepmother to her second husband's child from a previous marriage, and now, while caring for her husband, taking care of her husband, she continues her political activities. She challenged for the presidency, the leader, twice and narrowly lost, but triumphed on the third try. The fact that she's a woman who rose from humble beginnings, steadily piling up efforts and walking forward without being broken by failures is, I think, an inspiring story for women going forward. Rather, just seeing claims like, I don't like someone who opposes XX, even though she's the first female prime minister, makes me think that this kind of, what's that word? Pigeon holding is precisely the reason why the number of female politicians doesn't increase in Japan. Yeah, people are jealous, so that's why they say like, hey, Takaichi is chosen because she's a female, kind of thing. Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for your super chat. Let's go one by one. ハートついてるの全部話してる。You mentioned that there might be some changes to your constitution. What changes do you think your new prime minister would like to make? Firstly, the emergency article, I think. Or Article 9? 緊急事態じゃなくて。So a while back, like we were talking about emergency article because we don't have that, but probably my husband is saying probably the Article 9, which binds us not to have our military officially. But how to do it though, there are discussions, debate happening. That's it? そんだけ? It will probably, it would change, like, it will be affected by how LDP form coalition. Right now, LDP is not the only ruling party. There's Komeito. Those two parties are the ruling party.
Peace party だからね、公明党はね。
Peace party?
公明党ね。
Really?
平和の党。
その自分たちのあり方がってことね。Komeito calls themselves as Peace Party. Peace for China. They're so pro-China. And so when we were trying to pass the the resolution to condemn China for their human rights oppression, Komeito, the Peace Party, didn't want to sign it. And it took time, like it took like a year to actually pass it. But they are unpopular. And even though the Komeito they get votes from their religious group, like their Buddhism group, even though they have that, like a supporting group, like they are losing seats. So that's good because they're pro-China. And now we are talking about the possibility of coalition formation, like LDP and then Ishin, maybe? Innovation Party, or the People for, what's the word? Democratic Party for the People. So they're often getting rumored. So like how to pass so the constitution and so on, the revision of constitution, that will do a lot with the formation. Okay, another super chat. Thank you so much. Is it possible that her administration could be the one to rewrite the constitution and establish a true Japanese military? If not, what can Japan expect from a conservative leader? Tax cuts. Oh, Japanese conservatives do not equal to reducing tax. It's an American thing. At least from our perspective. And we are getting influenced by the American concept of conservatism, like you guys just want to do things by your own. But over here in Japan, like conservatives are rather like responsible. And so like we don't want to risk like cutting taxation and so on, even though it's, of course, like I'm personally, like I want to reduce the taxation and so on, but also we are realistic too, so it's such a complicated topic. But yes, constitution できると思う。 会見は維新とやれば
やる可能性はあると思う。高市は憲法改正だと
高市
そうになるかもしれない。
Takaichi might become a historical prime minister to actually revise the constitution, especially with the what's the corporation from Ishin. Wait, I want to check what Ishin is called. Japan Innovation Party. Japan Innovation Party. It's kind of weird when in English. But yeah. Yes. So hopefully with the corporation, especially with from the Japan Innovation Party, it will be easier to actually make it happen because Abe's time was different. But today, with the public opinion, like we've seen what's been happening, like what's happening in the world, especially the war in Ukraine, how Ukrainian people are fighting and so on, that just showed us the reality of the world, that we need to be able to protect ourselves. So many people are realizing it. Before that though, the liberals here were so so strong, and our media, of course, is most of the time they're left biased, especially like related to military stuff. So they just believe like if Japan says that, oh, we are not gonna, what's the word, like progress, what's like invade into other countries. If we don't do that, if we don't have the military forces, then other countries will be they'll want to be friends with us or something like that. Like they just say like, oh, no war, and by chanting like that, they believe that they are protected and that no countries will come, start a war against us, or Japan would go into a war against other countries and so on. They're just delusional. They've been delusional. But recently, with all the rising problems in the world, now younger generation are waking up to the reality. Like that's not how it works. Yeah. Oh, Super Chat, thank you so much. When is the next general election in Japan? I have no idea. The Prime Minister will decide. 次の総選挙はいつですか？
総選挙？
ジェネラルと聞いてるからそうじゃん。
総選挙？そう、わからん。まあとにかく行ってみないよ。
Probably no election for a while.
まあ今年はね。
Probably not this year. No election this year. And it has to do with revising our constitution. Because in order to revise our constitution, we need to vote. So then, if we want to revise our constitution and vote for that, then our election could be at the same time so that we can do it all together. Yep. Oh, super chat, thank you. The need to deter China from moving on Taiwan by 2027 probably rallied enough China hawks in the LEP behind her. Yeah, here's to hoping they use the opportunity and time wisely. Yeah, thank you for your understanding. Yes, I think so. I mean, LDP has been very realistic and very they're preparing a lot. For that, I need to, of course, thank Abe in the first place. And then Kishida did amazing jobs regarding self-defense and all the cooperation with other countries and so on. His diplomacy is great too. Like, because he was just in the extension of Abe's politics, There are people trying to show the picture that how things change because of Kishida, but that's false. That's actually false. Kishida did pass that the LGBT bill, and people are overreacting to it. because that's like Japanese background of LGBT are different because we are not a Christian nation. Our beliefs are different. We have our culture is tolerant, even though some fake Japanese accounts make it seem like Japan is like like a homophobic or whatever, or like that we are nationalistic and blah blah blah. Like they have this own weird Japanese image, but we are not like that, and we live with a lot of different foreign concepts and culture and so on, even the people. Yeah, and as for the LGBT bill, at least it was not like a too destructive, if that makes sense, because it was to promote the understanding of LGBT. But that's what we are doing all the time. Like we have LGBT type of characters in comic books and TV shows and even like regular TV shows. Like there are lots of talent and so on, and we have always accepted that, at least in the modern time, and also even back in the day too, that the gay men were a thing among samurais because they can't take women to the battlefield. So stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. And then Kishida's time, like there's a political aspect that if you pass the resolution to written by our side on purpose, like this is a promotion, right? And we have this LGBT law, then we already have it, so we don't have to make something extra because it's already there. Like if leftists say like, oh, we should make this law and blah blah blah, oh, men are women or whatever like that, we can say like, there's already a law, so you don't have to do anything in addition to that, like based on this law, just do what you need to do. So some leftists, of course, they are sucked into the local administration and so on. So there are like a left bias, like left leaning cities and so on. So of course they are gonna do the education and so on, but it's not like we are changing the society because of that, and rather we are stopping from the left side to take it over, if you know what I mean. And also Kishida was pressured probably by the Biden administration too. So that is, remember the ambassador to Japan at the time? What was his? Rahm Emanuel. I hate him so much. He was pushing that LGBT bill like so crazy, even meeting with the economic people too. That's why I talked to Breitbart at the time, and they published article about it with a lot of information. So you can probably Google it. But anyway, yeah. And then Kishida, though, like they during his administration, they revised or renewed the military-related documents, like defense documents. We have 3 kinds, but they renewed it and they made it much better. We have now the budget for it, and all the things. So that's really good. So Kishida was actually in continuation. By the way, he had to go for the LGBT bill because his secretary made a gaffe. So in order to basically discriminating LGBT people, so in order to cover that for the power that he has as a prime minister, he had to do something about it to make it go away. So probably that was a push for him to work on it too. So yeah. But there are many Japanese right-wing type of people who don't get it though about Kishida. So of course, like if you guys from other countries are confused by Kishida, I get it, but yeah. Anyway, why is it assumed that LDP will become prime minister? Are other parties not competitive? Yeah. なんで自民党の総裁が総理になるのかって。数が多いから。 でもほら少数用途って言われてるからかな。
野党が一つにまとまることはないから。
opposition parties will not unite into one.
だから
So LDP as a
全
result.
部出せば自民党より多いけど、もうだって共産党と維新が一緒になるわけない。
There's no way that the Ishin, in Japan Innovation Party and the Japanese Communist Party will choose the same guy as their prime minister. So if all opposition parties unite on, deciding the prime minister, and if they can pick this one person, who all parties support, then that they could win against LDP, but LDP has more number of parliament members. If that makes sense to you. Question: if LGBT was actually accepted back then, why did no one think to have gay marriages in the past then? Because marriages are different. Like what I'm talking about is cultural things. And we do have common sense too, and if you say it like verbally, then that's kind of offensive, so we don't say it, but some people have actually said it out loud and got into problems. But some talked about productivity, meaning like producing children and so on, because marriages are basically a social system, and social systems are there to provide the it's so hard to explain. For example, I'm in with my husband, but he is my guardian, kind of, if that makes sense. And it's all about other like social security and so on. And also we have the culture of ie, like family or household, which is something that I can't actually explain. It's a difficult concept to tell you, but ie, like home, family, household kind of thing. And that is another cultural aspect of us that we cannot let go of. So if LGBT type of people get to have marriages, then we have all the data from family trees, our city halls and everything, they store our information. Everybody is registered. That's why we can vote and we have a good democratic election without flaws. Why? Frauds. Because we have all the information. And that's based on our marriages. And like who went from here to there to start another ie, the family. And then it's all connected. And so then LGBT type of people, if they start one, like it would destroy that sort of system. And also the majority though are like male and female, like they fall in love, they have children. That's the majority, and there will be always the minority. So if we base our society on the minorities, then it will make a bad circulation in society. Just doesn't work. Like we cannot save everybody, but we can try to make the burdens lower, for the minority people too. So that's what we need to do. But culturally, we were we are tolerant. But yeah, like nobody is stopping from LGBT people to love each other and fall in love and so on. So like, why do you have to have society, the social system to back it up? Like, for what? What's the necessity? Because people have this wrong image about marriage. It's a social thing. Family units? Well, maybe that's the word. My dad told me about the city halls, including back to origin villages containing all of the records, also about it. Oh, cool. Let's see. Will we see more deportations? Maybe she will work on the legalized, on a legal system to strengthening it. But she's still the LDP leader, so it's not like our ruling party just changed or anything. And as she has repeated many times, this is like LDP, like what she was saying at the speech was that LDP members are now, the number decreased, like they under Ishiba administration, many couldn't make it in the elections. So there are less people now, and so Takaichi is saying like, oh, we all need to work together. So yeah, it's like all people working as a team together. So she will have to have a balance inside her party, so she would not go so crazy, I think. Yeah. And she's not real, like, she's a conservative and not a right wing, so I think she would just like think of all the policies there to make it like less loopholes and so on. 高橋さんの具体的にどうなっていくかねって。なんか例えばその外国人を追い出したりとかするのかみたいなね。大きく変わることね。だよね。Yeah, my husband says too that it's not gonna like her administration will not change like dramatically. Because it's 同じ自民党だから。だよね。今その話をした。Yes, same LDP. So. だからバイデンからトランプに変わるみたいなそんな感じはない。So it's not like, in America, just this year you guys had the shift from Biden's America to Trump's America. Like it's like from the super left to the right? Like, but it's as for Japan, it's the same Liberal Democratic Party, and it's not gonna change too much. Yep. As an American, I'm in favor of gay marriage. However, I understand the need to prioritize government resources to help traditional couples that can build families. Yeah, like I wish that it would work for everybody. Of course. Like actually, some of you may not like it, but I actually watch this gay channel on YouTube because they're so fun. Like they're Japanese, and one of them actually sometimes works as a political commentator and so on too. So yeah, but yeah, I'm open to like gay people and so on. Like I don't care about their backgrounds. They're just another Japanese, like other Japanese people. But yeah. I don't know, like, but from the get-go, like if you are little children, if you like, you don't want to, like, this is the nature, like gay people and so on too. Of course, they are there naturally most of the time, unless they're brainwashed, but not usually. Like there are like how we produce our offsprings are the male and female, at least in this human species, right? And there are some gay people and lesbian and so on, but that's how we have children, and children will have father and mother, and that's how it works. And if you tell your kids from early on about that sort of like minority type of things, then they will get confused. I was confused myself I was a tomboy. I was feisty. I'm feisty. Right? Listening to heavy metal and, fighting boys in basketball and kendo and everything possible and fist fight. And I was like, I'm stronger than men, I was like that, like buff type of woman. And I was actually a little bit confused, like the identity. I was straight, still like, but I could see the great things about feminine girls, like, oh, they're beautiful, like I get it, So that's why I was confused myself. It took me a while to actually accept my identity as a female. I think I was like past 30 to get to the point. Like it was, I actually struggled a lot because I couldn't fit in the ordinary Japanese female circle either because I'm like this and I'm Americanized too. I will probably make good friends with like American girls, but Japanese girls, I don't get along much. So yeah. Now it's cool because they're now like people around me are mature now. And like older ladies are fun to be with. So things are better now. Describing those sophisticated ideas in another language, your English so good, it never fails to amaze me. Thank you so much. I don't know. I wish I had a better understanding of things, though, so that I could be more logical and concise and so on. Maybe you can ask Sanae for a government appointment. You can join our administration. No way. How many appointments will she need to make when she takes power? Oh, she will have to talk to many, many people. Maybe you can be an ambassador for another country. No way. I don't have the qualification. What country would you like to be an ambassador for? How about an island country like Tahiti? I actually love Japan too much, my country too much. Even going to Tokyo is kind of sad every time. Like, how you take off on your plane and you see your town getting smaller and smaller, and I'm like, ah. And the last time I had a trip was South Korea is actually close, so I didn't feel much, like I wasn't as sad. But when I went to America, and Taiwan is okay too. Taiwan and South Korea are close, so I didn't feel that too much. I was kind of like not relieved, but I was not too anxious. But when I went to Hong Kong and India and America, I was like, oh, like on the plane, I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting away from Japan, and I was so sad. I'm tearing up just thinking about it because Japan is my home, and yeah, I love it so much here. So, but I would love to visit many other places though. I'm a little too scared to go to Europe, to be honest with you, but I would like to visit America again. Also, Hawaii and Guam would be nice to see, just to see what it's like too, and Australia, New Zealand, and all the southern part. And yeah, I want to visit Taiwan again too. Taiwan is such a great place, and I was there the last time I was there. I was on a political, I spoke at the forum against Russia, and so I didn't get to see around too much. So I would like to do that, to enjoy the food and so on. The culture part. Like when you go to another country, the culture is really fascinating. I would like to see more. Homesick easily, yeah, definitely. Also, but chat, thank you so much. I didn't fit in with the generic guy or normal guy stereotypes growing up. Men and women have more qualities than are normally accepted. Hi. Thank you so much for super chat. You know what I learned about America, by the way, is that Americans have machoism. Like American, like you know how you guys easily get called like gay, like how you're gay and blah. That's uh, that's like their standard. Like if the normal like masculine men in the States, if they saw a regular Japanese man, they would probably call everybody gay. That's my guess. Yeah, it must be tough to live in America as a man. Like you have a lot of expectations to be alpha. I love masculine men though. That's what's really like as a female, of course. Like masculine men are attractive, but the machoism though is kind of on a different level. Like American guys, like when they're big, they're like big. USA. Anyway. Oh, thank you for your super chat. Thank you so much. How much power does the Japanese prime minister have to change the administrative state? What do you mean by administrative state? How much power? They get to appoint our ministers but everything will. As for LDP, of course they do have the power, but like LDP has meetings, when they decide their policy and so on. So they decide in advance, and then they vote in the parliament and so on. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, I forgot to mention that about Kishida, the administration that passed LGBT. Under Kishida, Takaichi was actually, because she was the second place, I think, in the election. Seicho Kaicho. She was the chairman of the political research. What's the word? Wait, let me look it up. Seicho. Where's the? Let me see. Where's the? On it. I'm looking for the find part. Did they change that? I can't see that. Like some policy, she was in power of the policy, I can't find it. Research? Oh, is this Policy Research Council board? Not board, but chairman. Oh, chairman of Policy Research Council, policy chief. So she was a policy chief, to put it simply. Yeah, to Kishida's LDP. So, yeah, Kishida's promises, to fight in elections. Takaichi wrote the policies, Kishida acknowledged it, and they went with it. So Kishida is not like a bad guy. Yes. That gave me the best laugh of the evening. It's true, right? I stick out like a sore thumb in Japan. There was a YouTuber in America that showed famous Iken men, Japanese men's picture to American women. Many of the women said they look gay. I feel so bad. Yeah. But yeah. I think I'm going to bed tonight. Oh no! Thank you for hanging out with me. Yeah. When I was in university, there were lots of exchange students from other countries. And I was good friends with this Swedish girl and then this American girl. Like they were close, and so I was close to them. And they every day they would talk about the narrow butt of Japanese men. It was so interesting. They were always like narrow butt. I'm like, what? Yeah. I guess that they liked like a so-called host type of guys here, like who look like they just came out of some comic books, you know, they look so thin and so on. So yeah. Is there any concern that the second place winner at the LDP will try to undermine Takaichi in order to gain more power? I don't think they can afford it right now to do that sort of power struggle game. Yeah. And like they are friendly to each other on the surface anyway. And especially the candidates for this time, they are doing well. Like they are all mature and adult too. So like LDP is pushed into this difficult position right now. So I don't think that they have the capacity to actually fight each other within, if you know what I mean. Abe's time were different because they were so strong that they didn't have to worry about things. Right now, they have to think about their influence is limited because they are not the majority, right? And also like the popularity, like they are not trusted by our people. Leftists especially, they agitate that LDP has money issues, you know, even though they, you know, solved that problem, and they're doing their best right now to regain the trust from us. Still, leftists just want to attack LDP, so they're like, oh, money issue, right? So they're doing that, and on the top of that, there is Sanseito, really right wing. They are nationalistic, not LDP like Takaichi and so on. They are nationalistic. Sanseito is nationalistic. Do you know why? Because they copy and paste the MAGA movement. MAGA people in America, when they see Sanseito, they might think like, oh, Sanseito, oh, like in Japan, there are people like us too. Of course, they are copying you. So it's so ironic that they say like, oh, Japanese pride and so on, Japanese people, Japan for Japanese people, and sort of Japan first kind of thing, and they're actually importing agenda from another country. So that's like, as a conservative, I'm like offended by what they're doing, but that's just me. But anyway, so Sanseito, but they know what they're doing and they know how to fight in elections. So just like the Japanese Communist Party is doing, in each district, you know, they have all the candidates of their own party so that there are higher possibilities for more seats, right? So they are doing that. So, and there are leaders, like their dictatorship, you know, inside their party. The leader takes, their power is so strong that the people have to obey, right? So there is, the control is crazy, but they're doing it though. As a result, the party is strong. So that's why other parties are threatened. And LDP is not the exception. So now they have to think about all the other things, you know, and also what to do about the policies. That China is coming to take Taiwan. How do we fight together? And in the meantime, Japan's economy is bad. What do we do about our economic security? And right now the prices are high. What are we going to do about it? There are over-tourism problem, but then we could invest in robotics so that, and AI, so that it could, you know, make the problems like weaker, you know, because it's due to economic problems and yeah, stuff like that. So we have a lot to think about. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, thank you for super chat again. I meant, can the Prime Minister replace the bureaucrats that she does not like? No. I don't think so. husband 日本は官僚を入れ替えられるのかとかはい Yes, just confirmed. We cannot, like, I mean, she cannot replace our bureaucrats. はい。ああなんかあったね。The the top level though of bureaucracy can be appointed by the government. え？The cabinet can probably appoint the top people of bureaucracy, like appoint the top people. They cannot fire them, but they can change the top person of bureaucracy. Yeah, it's not so. So it's interesting when I look at other countries because it changes everything often. Doesn't happen in Japan. Super chat, thank you. Oh wait, before that, have a good night, Yoko and husband. Ciao, chat. Congrats again, Japan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sleep well. Thank you. my throat is getting dry. I'm speaking so much. Thank you for your super chat. Do you think Sanseto gained some support because Ishin no Kai became more moderate last election? It's not really about being moderate, but they just didn't stand out anymore because others are crazy like Sanseto. Yeah, you gotta stand out in elections. And Ishin, the Innovation Party, didn't do much at all. They didn't stand out. And their advertisement too was not appealing either. They were like, I saw their advertisement for the election on X and they had a little, like a drama. Like they were acting. And then it didn't really have a good message that like, oh, there are problems like this. Yeah, it's a problem. I'm like, huh? Like, where's the policy, you know? They were like, oh, this is a problem. Yeah. And I'm like, it was weird. But Ishin, though, they have good conservative politicians too. Like individually, we know some people there too. They're cooperative, and we can't thank enough for their cooperation when they do. But yeah, it's really like we are fighting against those who don't have common sense in general now. And we often talk about the fake news online too. Yeah, such a difficult time right now. And so LDP, it's not only LDP, it's the Constitutional Democratic Party, the biggest opposition party. They are having they lost a lot too in the last election. Their seats didn't change, but their votes went down. So they lost too. LDP, the Constitutional Democratic Party, right? And then Ishin, the Innovation Party. And these three, what they have in common is that they've been there for a long time. What's that in English? Kison seito. Existing political parties. Okay, that's really explanatory. Yeah. Or traditional party. Yeah, like those parties that existed long before, they lost seats. And the newer party, like Sanseito and Democratic Party for the People, they gained seats a lot, right? Because they are new and we are tired of the old system. because it doesn't work like we learned, like now is the result of the past policies and we don't see the results, so we want something more dramatic, some change in our politics. So that's what's happening probably. And of course, there are what changed over the past year or so is the rise of the AI and also the just social media in general spreading more commonly in Japan. So more people are using it. A decade ago, when I was helping elections, you know, I was one of the first to use the social media, but it spread among the people who were using social media, but it didn't get connected to, like it didn't show in the votes because not everybody was using social media back then. But today, a decade later, I see the change. So now there are more people who weren't even interested in politics. Like there are newcomers newcomers are there and they are voting for Sanseito or Democratic Party for the people because it's more like it's like eye catching, it's like basically populism. So they know what they're doing, those parties know what they're doing, so it's populism and people get agitated easily, especially because they don't have the common understanding of politics, to be honest. They're new to the political field, they don't know how it works. When they hear good things, good policies, they're like, oh, that's good, we should do that. They jump on it and that becomes the votes. So yeah, can't you get rid of rhinos? LDP is like, we have a democratic system, so what that means is that number is power. So you don't want to get rid of people. Oh, thank you for super chat, Gary, again. I wonder what American girls think about Shohei Ohtani. I don't think many would assume he's gay. That's a good point. And he's super tall, taller than some American guys. Yeah, it's so bizarre to see that. Like he's super tall and his, of course, body is so like such a baseball player, but his face is so Japanese. Oh. I'm not used to seeing that type of Asians. So sometimes I see like other Asian background, like actors and so on, in American TV shows, and I got used to it a little bit. But Otani is on the next level, like he's super tall. So yeah, I wonder what. Yeah, I wonder too how they would. Yeah. Oh, Lefty Lucid is leaving. It's been fun. I've got some other matters to attend to. Have a nice day, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Yay, super chat. Thank you. I always enjoy your live streams and posts. I really have nothing intelligent to ask today. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it. Thank you always for your really warm, like a, what's the word, like heartfelt, really nice posts and so on at X and everything too. I really appreciate your warm commentary. Thank you. And your super chat too, it really helps me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Mahalo? What is mahalo? I wish I could unlock my account. Yeah. Oh, then if he was still single, would have many women as fans. Yeah. I'm surprised that he got married fast. Like, at the right timing, Yeah. Good morning, congrats on your new Prime Minister. Thank you so much. I mean, she's gonna be our Prime Minister officially after like 10 days or so, but let's hope that Ishiba doesn't do anything stupid until then. But Ishiba wants to, the current one, he wants to issue some like a statement for the 80th anniversary of the World War II. That's sort of tradition of LDP, showing like some kind of statement about the World War II. It ended with Abe. Like Abe ended it because it's endless to talk about the World War II, and he didn't want later generations to feel the burden of the past generations. So he just put everything into words and then just ended it. And Ishiba wants to compete with Abe and be legendary like him. So he wants to say something. He even went to the UN recently, even though he didn't have to. He met with Korean president too, right? I mean, went to Korea, right? I don't know what he actually did because I don't even care anymore. But yeah, he's doing things that he doesn't have to for his legacy. Let's see. Which parties will combine with LDP and Komeito? Will they get a high cabinet leader? It's rumored is Japan Innovation Party. Yeah, some people talk about Democratic Party for the people, but I don't think that would happen. I don't know. Yeah, because often like people like ordinary people often talk about how the coalition will work in Japan, but and they always somehow people tend to think that all the like-minded parties should become the ruling parties. But in my opinion, what matters the most is the biggest opposition party among the opposition parties. The biggest one among the opposition party, they have the power, right? Ruling party versus opposition party, and they have to talk. So if the opposition parties are cool, the LDP will have a good conversation, right? Like easier. And so, yeah, that's why a decade ago I was helping another party at the time. They no longer exist, but there was a true conservative party at the time called Nippon no Kokoro, like heart of Japan or something like that. But they didn't even want to translate the party name because Kokoro, often translated as like heart or mind, cannot be translated. Like it's a little different. So that conservative, they were so conservative. So I was helping them, but and then after that, there were some formation changes, and there was so-called Kibonoto, like Yuriko Koike, the Tokyo governor today, was leading a party back then in 2017 or so. And then that party was going to be the biggest opposition party. So that like both, like LDP, somewhat conservative, in Japanese left-leaning society, somewhat conservative LDP, and then Yuriko Koike's party, conservative, they could be the ruling party and opposition party, so that in the parliament, the discussions or debates will be better, right? It will be more productive. But Abe was, Abe didn't want to lose any of his votes, so all the LDP people would attack us all the time during that period, and yeah, that's why we lost. But yeah, anyway. Kokoro was one of the few Japanese words I never forget. 18 years after taking Japanese in high school. Oh, cool. Yeah. Ishin makes the most sense if it was Sanseto. That would be shocking. I don't think Sanseto would happen. No way. I mean, they won a lot in the last House of Councilors election, but in the House of Representatives, they don't have many seats. Okay, it's getting late for you, and should I end my stream? Japan parties are born and die so fast in Japan. Yes, exactly. So LDP is actually kind of legendary in that sense. They've been around for a long time. The biggest opposition party right now, Rikken Minshito, the Constitutional Democratic Party, right? They've been Democratic Party, but like before they were like Democratic Party, and then some other name, and yeah, same kind of people but different names. And sometimes especially because they are the opposition party, I guess that they have to change the formation often, and so politicians come and go, and then sometimes they don't make it in the election. So yeah, but when they change, when there are more parties and the dynamics change, that's when things get exciting, though. At the same time, kind of unstable, but still, people will pay more attention and more expectations rise, and yeah. But yeah, Sanseto, by the way, won a lot the last time, but that is helped by the kind of mistakes of the Democratic Party for the People. The Democratic Party for the People was gonna gain a lot of votes, but while the Japanese society is leaning towards the right side, how like society moves from right to the left to the right, and it was swinging back to the right side, and they somehow showed like their candidates, leftist candidates. And since that day, like first they were doing good, and they were rumored to be like really big rise, right? And then they showed this bad candidates, and then since then they just lost the momentum. And then Sanseito came around, like they got the momentum instead, because the right side of people they were expecting a lot for the party, but they saw the liberal candidates, and they were like, no, like we can't trust you, right? And the party leader Tamaki is actually from the Democratic Party from a long time ago. So like there's a little doubt, among the conservatives, like, will the leader will be good for us? They're still testing him. We are at that stage. So because of that, especially after seeing the liberal candidates, many just rejected that. So yeah. Anyway, people are falling asleep, I see. I guess I should go. If not more super chat, I should go. I'm getting hungry too. Earlier you mentioned that inflation was a problem in Japan. Is the target 2% like the US? Target? Do they talk about target? Husband-san, 日本のインフレのターゲットは 2%、アメリカのように 2% とかするのって。 2%? Oh, 2%, he says. Japan's 2% too. 2% target. I wish I could see that somewhere in newspaper. I don't think. Yeah, okay. By the way, I didn't introduce other pages. Opposition parties trying to decide what to do with Takaichi, right? And then also against China and South Korea, balance is key, and it's like they have to think about Takaichi has to think about the balance. Oh, Trump senpai, hello, Trump Hamas statement, welcome. Yeah. Oh, and female leader, that's good. And then other countries are saying that the relationship will be bad. Probably China and South Korea. Yeah. Oh yeah, Koizumi this time, they made a little mistakes again. So good that Takaichi won after that. Another picture of Takaichi here. Oh yeah, and Komito, the pro-China party in the ruling party, they're saying like, they're basically like trying to show that, oh, they might, stop forming the coalition, but they're probably doing that to show to their supporters that, they are asked by LDP to stay in power with them, because Takaichi is seen as like, for them Takaichi is super right, but even though she isn't really, but because they are pro-China, to them Takaichi looks crazy. So let's see. Lastly, I'm gonna show you Gavin Newsom, governor that's fighting rising expectations. Leftist color weakened, support expansion, aiming for the expanding the support. And then Kamala Harris, like she's doing well. That's amazing. I didn't expect that. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, should I go? Oh, super chat. I see super chat, so I will stay a little bit more. I'm simple like that. Let's see. Thank you for super chat again. On the downside, if she stabilizes the economy well enough to fix the exchange rate, I won't be able to withdraw as much as I currently do. Like as much yen. I see. Me too. Like your super chat right now, it actually is higher than it used to be. Like you give me the same super chat, but then it's more here. So like, this is what happens when you do international things, right? Yeah. That's excellent news here. The image is mirrored, so it's hard to read. I know, sorry. Yeah. You living in California, Gavin is terrible. Gavin is too close to China. He is. I mean, I don't expect much, like anything good from him, but I'm not surprised that he's close to China. Remember when Gavin cleaned up California because Chinese leaders were visiting? Oh, really? Wow. I need to learn about it. I gotta dig it up so that I can write articles for Japanese news or the Japanese magazine. Yeah. I can contribute articles if I want to. So I always just don't know what to write about. Like it's so hard to pick a topic. And once I decide though, of course I read a bunch of articles to, connect the dots and write an important message. That's good. Chinese related issues are really, really important for Japanese people. So, yeah. So I really hope that Takaichi and Trump will agree on that, to have this common understanding, like, oh, China is a threat, and that Japan and the US have to work together even more strongly. Yeah, dollar is strong. Yeah. Have you seen Trump's sombrero memes? No, I don't think so. Like my timeline has been about LDP election, and I've been kind of distant from you American news. I wanna, yeah, I should somehow get back to. I don't know, like all are like in Japanese, So Takaichi with drums. Like there are lots of like musicians and metalheads who are happy about Takaichi winning because she's one of us, Yep, yep. All in Japanese. I want American news back on my timeline. I wish that there was like a language feature on X. Have you? Yeah, October started out insane. So much is happening at once. Yeah, I know. I know. Like we were at the event of like, let's see. Oh, by the way, my husband talking in front of people. Yeah, our event in Tokyo was so successful. Lots of parliament members came and so on. Yeah, I wish I could do something to offer for, I don't know, more about Japan-US relationship, because especially about China, of course, my husband is like a leading guy in Japan. That's why I married him, by the way. He's so charismatic. My husband is goofy, but he's so charismatic and really, really smart and intelligent. So I really wish, though, that we would have more connection. Like we have more and more connections uh, each year, and it's crazy. But yeah, if only I could meet Trump. But Sanae Takaichi will do a great job, I think. So, yeah, nice photo. Thank you. Okay, anyway, I've been talking for like 107 minutes. I should have go, right? It's 3:30. I'm getting hungry. And you guys need sleep. So, yep. Thank you for speaking about Takaichi in English, by English. Thank you. I'm trying my best, but I don't even know if I'm doing a good job. But yeah, I'm doing my best. I hope it helped. I hope what I told you is all correct. I try not to make mistakes. Sometimes I do. The last time I talked about election, I was like the second round of the LDP election. By the way, I think I said like, oh, it will be among the national like parliament members of LDP, but actually they like districts, like each prefecture we call it. It's reflected too. I forgot that part. Sometimes I make mistakes, but I hope you at least you get a big picture of what's going on. Okay. I hate Chinese. I don't hate Chinese in general, but I hate CCP. Okay. Can Japan government shut down if they don't pass a budget too? I don't think so. It's surprising every time I see that in America. Okay. Good night, Yoko. Have a good meal. Thank you. The earliest live stream really helped me catch. Thank you. I'm waking up earlier, just so you know. I had a morning walk with my husband too today. I've been doing that for almost 2 weeks now, so I'm a little bit getting in shape. So that's good. Exercise and sleep or something that I need to think about now that I hit 40. Yep. And then I hope to become a morning person so that I can have a live stream even on weekdays too. Wish me luck. I'm still in the transitioning part. So yeah. Anyway, oh, you look Korean. You're the guy that left a comment. That's, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, you look Korean. That's your opinion. And why doesn't mean that I'm Korean. I don't even know if you like Korean by that commentary. It just looks like you are a racist because by the fact that you just wrote Chinese, you hate Chinese, so bye bye. That's how I mute people. Okay, anyway. Okay, what are your predictions for next week? The media will try to bash Takaichi, so we gotta protect her. And but let's create this good mood for Takaichi and Trump's meeting. We gotta get excited and hopefully, just prepare this good vibe that Trump will like her, because she might, like, of course, like there are some leftovers of the negotiations of tariff and so on, so things could get kind of intense, so, but until she becomes the next one, watch out for the current one, Ishiba too. Anyway, thank you guys. Yes, I'm waking up earlier. Yes. What's a nice person? Who's a nice person? Don't say that. No, I can do it. I can do it. Grew up in the U.S. post-war, and everyone thought I looked like every other Asian citizen. Really? That's interesting. What? I see a red super chat. That's me dying out of surprise. You know how people's heart stops. Like, I shouldn't joke about it, but it's just what it felt like, because I didn't expect it. Thank you so much. Yay. Chipping in for food. Go away now. I need sleep. Go away now. Thank you. Okay, now I can actually leave after receiving that. Thank you so much. ありがとうございます。本当すいません。ありがとうございます。I don't know why I'm apologizing. Okay. I'm getting kicked out. Thank you. Now she'll stay for an hour. No, I wish. I'll let you sleep. Okay, I'm crying now. Okay, good night. Bye. Next week. Okay, next week. Back of here for Yoko. Okay.